Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. If you've been following me, you know that my daughter just turned 8 years old, and you also probably know that we've been working tirelessly for the past few months planning her an enchanted fairy garden themed birthday party. In my previous videos, I showed you guys how we made some giant paper flowers, a bunch of other props and decor for the party, and a whole enchanted fairy costume that she's gonna wear to the party. And now it's time to finally get this show on the road. So I'm skipping over a lot of the actual planning and shopping and ideating and more of kind of like the tedious, some would say boring parts of the party planning process. Honestly, just because I had a lot going on and I was multitasking, doing all that stuff, and we didn't really film a lot of it. But what I was doing was finishing writing my party planning ebook that I've been working on. This is basically a party planning guide where I'm going to be breaking down all of my methods, tips, tricks, and advice when it comes to throwing parties. So anything you want to know about how I plan parties, how I come up with these ideas, how I stay organized, how I budget, all of that is going to be in my party planning guide. Definitely sign up at the link down below so that you don't miss it when it drops, and you'll get an exclusive discount. So I'm kind of fast forwarding to the week of the party. And one of the main things I like to do during these days leading up to any party is do a run of show, which basically means for all of the main setups like the food table, activity table, things like that, I want to actually do like a test run, a dress rehearsal, a run of show, if you will, and kind of lay everything out, make sure I have everything, make sure I like how it looks, and just get an idea of how this stuff needs to be set up the day of. There were a lot of little pieces and knickknacks and flowers and just like a bunch of little things that went into each setup for this party. So we made sure to organize everything into different bins and label it so that it would be ready to go. Like I said, I didn't really vlog a lot of the shopping process for this party, but believe me when I say there was a lot of shopping that went into this theme. I love a good theme, and with any party that I do, I really want almost every single detail to match the theme. And I will go to great lengths to find the right items to bring the theme to life. Plus, I told you guys early on what the theme was for this party, and so you guys were sending me a lot of suggestions. So just know I went to every store you could think of, and I also ordered a bunch of stuff online. So in my previous videos, you saw how we built all of our major props for this party, but there was still one more thing that we needed to build. And I was kind of nervous about this because it's very important. We have this pink arch shelf backdrop wooden thing. We built this a few parties ago, and we've been using it and reusing it, but so far the only way we've been using it is pushed up against a wall with a big heavy table in front of it to hold it up. So we never properly built any sort of like feet or stands for it to actually have it stand up. And that is just not gonna work for this party because this is going to be a backyard garden party, and I need for this thing to just like stand up by itself in the middle of the grass. But it's heavy. We used kind of like a heavier, slightly thicker plywood, and it has like these shelves and everything on it. It's gonna have party favors and stuff all on it, so it needs to be really sturdy. And of course, as with almost everything, we've never done something like this before, so we don't really know what we're doing. But I recently hired a new production assistant. Her name is Sam, and she had a lot of great tips to kind of help us figure out how to do this. So big shout out to Zoe and Sam for figuring out how to make these stands. It definitely took some trial and error, but eventually we figured it out. We got them attached and it was super sturdy. So the party was going to be on Saturday. It's now Thursday, and we're just trying to get ahead of the game. So we're taking Thursday to bring all of the stuff over to the party location, which is actually my parents' backyard. It's cool that it's my parents' backyard because it's my parents' backyard. It's not as difficult to work with as, say, like a public venue or an actual like private venue that we would have to rent out, because then we would only have the space for that day. We would be really crunched on time trying to get everything over there and get everything set up. So because it's just my parents' house, we have a lot more like wiggle room. But at the same time, I'm used to throwing parties at my own house and like in my own backyard where I don't really have to like bring anything anywhere. And of course, for this party, we decided to do a bunch of jumbo props. So it was definitely a task to get all of our stuff loaded up into Zoe's truck and get it over to my parents' backyard, which is why we started doing it on Thursday. Let's try not to crack it in half. Lift, down, 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 down. Don't get squished, Sam. You're squished.
There's no room for me to get out of the truck, so I'm stuck. They're in there. You're good. You're good. You're good. I'd stop. I'm holding on for dear life so this thing doesn't flop out. We're taking a trip.
Hey.
Hey.
Just girly things.
Just girly things. This is actually really fun. I've never ridden in a truck bed before, which is ridiculous because I'm from the South. Nothing's going anywhere. The straps are tight. Hopefully we don't lose anything. Zoe doesn't seem to think that we will because we're going a pretty decent pace. Oh, we've arrived. Okay, time for me to crawl out of the truck bed. That's so much better. It was all on my shoulder, and I was like, this is fine. I was like, this is fine. But
Supergirl,
I was ready to tank it, you know?
We had to make multiple trips because the way that we had these things built, we didn't want to like unbuild them or disassemble them at all because we weren't really like too confident in the assembly in the first place.
Oh, down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're gonna have to. It's not gonna.
This is so
There.
ghetto. So with everything still fully put together, we could only really fit like one thing in the truck at a time. It was a whole bunch of hoopla, but we got it done. Wait, you're stuck in the dirt.
Oh, on the left.
It's Friday, the day before the party. The real setup process begins.
Wings and things, so set up the backdrop and the mirror, any other decorations. Can't really put the stuff on the shelf yet. The photo ops, that's the mushroom backdrop, the small cutouts, streamers, any additional props. Move the lounge chairs and the couch to the grassy area by the activity station. Put up yard signs. Move any extraneous items out of sight, so all that stuff on right here on the patio. And then large flowers, secure bulb to stems.
I think
But
what
we
I'll
can
do
do
is
that
put the
day.
stems in where I want them and
Yeah.
just put the bulbs tomorrow. We knew we wanted to take all of the outdoor furniture off of my parents' deck and bring it down into the yard to kind of create like a separate seating area.
I think this looks really good.
That's so cool.
My mom, of course, was doing the food for the party like she always does. They don't call her Chef Tony for nothing. I made her a Pinterest board with a bunch of inspo for like fairy, garden, woodland, nature-y themed food and snacks. And one thing about my mom, all I have to do is tell her the theme, you know, give her some inspo pics, and from there she can basically make anything happen when it comes to food. But it can be a lot for one person to handle, so she did need a little bit of help. We had a lot of delicate decor that we unfortunately couldn't set up ahead of time because, you know, this is an outdoor party. We can't really just have things sitting out in the yard or sitting out on tables because the wind would probably blow it away, or the morning dew, or if any rain came, like it would just all be destroyed. So we had to leave most of the stuff for the day of, but we just tried to set up and move around anything that we could. I can't get a good swing because I know I can't aim. See?
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Good enough, right?
Right.
This one, front of the house.
Yes. There we go. That's a good.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Along with our big wooden like mushroom props and our big paper flowers and what I had planned for all of the tablescapes, and also hiring Austin Balloon Co. again, who I've used before, to do some really nice big balloon garland. The other thing that I wanted for the decor is this really cute streamer effect that I saw on Pinterest where you hang a bunch of streamers from the tree. But this tree in my parents' backyard is pretty tall, and even like the lowest branches are pretty high up. So I knew we were gonna have to get up on the tippy top of a really tall ladder, and it was gonna be kind of tedious to get all the streamers up there. I just kind of wanted to test it out and see what it would even look like and if it was even possible. And I was just hoping that we were gonna have time to actually do the rest of them on the day of the party. So producer Zoe made a full schedule for the day of the party. I'm talking detailed notes for, you know, minute by minute, hour by hour. These are all the things we need. These are all the things we need to get done. And we had it all scheduled out. And it started at like 8 a.m. The actual party starts at 2 p.m., but we have a lot to set up, and we have learned from our previous experiences with previous parties that you always need more time than you think you need. So yeah, we're starting at 8 a.m. And the first thing on the agenda was that Austin Balloon Co. was gonna come and install the balloon garlands. They're doing one big main one on the tree where the mushroom prop photo op is gonna go, and then they're also doing another one up on the deck. While they were doing that, I still had my heart set on the whole streamer idea, so we started prepping the streamers by like cutting lengths of streamers. I knew I was gonna need a lot of them. It's the morning of the party. It's like, what time is it? 9 probably a.m.?
8:40.
8:40 a.m. We are up and at it early to give ourselves ample time. We are learning from our past mistakes. There seems to never be enough time to get everything set up and photographed and everything. So we're starting bright and early. The weather is nice, the birds are chirping. We got all our stuff organized. We have to be double the length to move on. If you just give me one example, so probably like long like this. But then from there, we really needed to stick to Zoe's schedule and focus on the priority items of the party setup. And so it was time to move on to kind of putting all the main stuff in place, like the paper flowers. These flowers are made out of paper, so they are kind of delicate. And I did make these, you know, weeks ago. I started the whole process of making all this stuff. So they've been kind of sitting in my garage, being moved around. They had to be transported over here. So they did get a little bit beat up. There was some zhuzhing, some repairs needed. And the other thing was that it started to get windy. So I was kind of worried about like the integrity of my poor little paper flowers that I worked so hard on. A little behind the scenes, something that's always difficult on the day of any party that I throw is actually capturing the content. Obviously, I'm sharing this video with you guys now, but I also do TikTok videos. I do Instagram Reels. I need photos for Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. I have my own website with my own blog, and I'm writing this party planning book now where of course I would love to have photos of my parties to use as reference for my book about throwing parties. So there's a lot of different types of content that we're trying to capture all at once. It's 10 o'clock. We're making great progress. We've got like the main decor set up. Balloons are up, looking super cute. These are the little wings I got from Amazon, 20 pack for like $15. Like they're cheap, but they're really cute. Got little glitter, and I had Ziya try them on, and they look kind of small, but I think they're gonna be perfect, so they're not too bulky bumping into each other. They're just gonna be like right on the body for her size, age range. And then I stole Ziya's cute hangers out of her closet. I was testing it out, and I think actually doing it like this works the best. They're individually wrapped though, so this might take a minute. Next, I went on to set up the party favor station, the wings and things, which is basically where all the guests are gonna be able to come and pick out a set of fairy wings and a little headband. And then there's some other party favors that they'll be able to take home. I found these really cute little grow kits at the Dollar Tree actually. And they're just kind of like pre-made kits with a pot, and I think it already has soil and it has the seeds inside of it, so you can like grow flowers, grow strawberries, and I just thought that made a really cute party favor for the theme. I talk about this in my party planning book, but when it comes to party favors, I really feel like you should be thoughtful and give out something that somebody can actually use and appreciate versus just like a baggie full of candy. I knew we were already gonna have a lot of sweets at the party, and I know as a parent, like I'm kind of rolling my eyes when my kid comes home with like a bunch of extra candy on top of that and just like some little plastic throwaway toys. So I thought like this little grow kit was something like, oh, this could be an actual nice activity that, you know, they can actually do when they get home. And it's like rewarding. You get to watch your flower grow, and it goes with the theme. And then the other party favors that I have were just these cute little like reusable cups with straws. I found the mushroom cups a while back at Home Goods, and then I ended up finding these other little flower cups at Walmart for only like $1 each. So it's like you don't have to do anything crazy for the party favors, but I just just try to think of something that like I would actually like to receive and actually use, or that I would like for my child to come home with. And then the next vendor that came was the picnic table rentals. I rented a bunch of these low down picnic tables. I was also able to rent the rugs and the cushions from this vendor. And this was just something that I wanted to kind of give that like fairy forest vibe. I don't know, I just felt like picnic tables and cushions instead of chairs gave more of like a fairy garden vibe. And so we have 4 of them set up on the deck for the main like food table where the kids can sit down and eat. And then another 2 set up in the grass for the little crafting activity station. We got the picnic tables delivered with the little cushions and the rug. Shout out
Posh Picnic.
Posh Picnic. I need you to feed me my line, Zoe.
I'm ready.
Now I'm gonna do my centerpiece, which I practice, so I know what I'm doing, so I shouldn't struggle too much. The main struggle is the fact that everything is all bunched up on each other in these bins right now. So I'm gonna have to dig for all my stuff, but I know what I want it to look like. I know how it goes. This should be a breeze. My base. It's all about symmetry. I'm just trying to make it pretty equal on both sides while also keeping an organic, effortless effect where it's not exactly the same throughout. Some variation, but balanced, if you will. Y'all know I'm a DIY girly. I like to do everything myself, make everything myself, set up everything myself usually. But there are certain aspects like these picnic tables and cushions that just make way more sense to rent versus trying to make them or buy them. The cost of cushions like this alone can be like $20 a pillow. And the time it would take us to build a bunch of these wooden picnic tables, it just would be unreasonable. But I would like to build a table of my own of some sort because I do think that's a good thing to have in my collection that I can reuse. So maybe for my next party, I'll build a table. Now for this main table on the deck, this is like the piece de resistance when it comes to all the little setups. I had a lot planned for this centerpiece. I bought so many different little like knickknacks and candles and flowers and vases and stuff. And I really had a specific vision for how I wanted this table setting to go. But the good thing was that I had practiced it before with the whole run of show and I took pictures of it and everything. So I basically was just recreating what I had already done. The wind was not on my side though, because it kept tipping over everything, even though I had put like rocks in the vases to make sure that I was weighing everything down. I thought of everything, but it just still didn't work. The wind was too strong. Meanwhile, our cake from Sugar Shaker Bakery got delivered. And this time I kind of sent them some inspo pics and just said, have at it. I trust you. I'm not going to give you like super specific instructions. They've done such a great job with all of the previous cakes that we've gotten from them. I'm like, y'all got it. So this was kind of like a surprise cake and they did an amazing job. Of course, I expected nothing less. So I finished up the main table on the deck and then it was time to move on to setting up the activity crafting table. And I planned for 3 main crafts for this table. The first one was decorate a fairy house. I came across these little wooden fairy houses at Michael's and just the theme of them with like the flowers and the mushrooms, it was just too perfect. So I provided a bunch of markers, stickers, little figurines, little mushrooms and little, you know, fairy girls that they could like put inside of their house. I made sure not to provide paint because we're doing this on rented tables and cushions. And even if it wasn't rented tables, paint is just so messy. We're still working with like a younger crowd of kids. And I just have learned from previous experience, like it's not worth it. So they're gonna be using markers to color on the wooden houses and that should work good enough. Then the second craft is to decorate a fairy wand. I actually found this kit on Amazon that came with a bunch of plain wooden magic wands and it actually also came with like stickers and stuff to decorate them. But then they could also use like the markers and other stuff that I had laid out on those too. And then the last activity was to make your own magic pixie dust necklace. As I was browsing through Dollar Tree on one of my mini trips to Dollar Tree as I was planning this party, I came across these little tiny glass bottles with the cork in it. And I was like, this looks just like, you know, a little little potion pixie dust bottle. And then Dollar Tree also had the twine and the glitter, and I was like, this would be a really cute craft to just kind of like fill the bottle with glitter, you know, your magic pixie dust, tie some string around it and make a necklace. So at this point I'm feeling good. We're on schedule, we're getting things done. The food table is prepped, the food is about to be done and be brought out. We're just kind of waiting on the cotton candy vendor to come. We're waiting on the fairy performer. We're kind of just waiting on the last few vendors, but we're doing good on time. Ziya and I went back home to get changed, and I had to get Ziya all in her fairy costume, and she did want her makeup done and everything. Luckily, the hair wasn't a big deal because we had gotten her hair braided ahead of time just for this. So her hair was looking good. I just did a really simple like 2-bun look, got her costume on, and then it was time to do her makeup. Now, we had already done like a trial run with her makeup, and Ziya gave me her feedback and her critique. She definitely said there was some things about the first makeup look that she didn't like. Okay, fine, I can take the criticism. So I followed her instructions and tweaked the makeup look a little bit for her this time. And then for my look, I decided to do something kind of chill. I had ordered something more fairy-ish, but it didn't fit and I didn't like it. And I was like, let me just kind of go with the more like Renaissance fair, woodland fairy vibe. So I actually mostly put together my look with stuff that I already had in my closet. But unfortunately, when I was running around my closet trying to get dressed, I had one of my heels just like laid out on the closet floor, and it was like facing with the stiletto heel up like this, and I didn't see it, and I literally stomped on it with my foot like this, and it stabbed me and it punctured me and it went kind of deep and it hurt real bad. But I didn't have time. I had to get Ziya back over to my parents' house because I knew the party was starting soon. So I kind of just ignored it. I didn't even look at it, wash it, put a band-aid on it, nothing. I just put my shoes on and I had to go. I'm like, it's party time. We don't have time for these injuries. I'm gonna have to deal with that later. So we get back over to my parents' house. Perfect timing because the photographer just showed up. I had scheduled the photographer to come a little bit early so that we could kind of do our own little solo photo shoot in our outfits with all the decor before anybody got there. And that worked out perfectly. I love the photographer that we worked with. I feel like we got some really cute pictures. We were actually able to get like Ziya's little solo photo shoot and some with her and I, which is always a struggle. I feel like my fellow moms out there can probably understand this. You're so busy like putting on the party and doing the things that you end up not really even being in any of the photos, but this time we made sure to schedule that in. At this point, we're just putting finishing touches on the party. We're finishing setting up the food table. Of course, we wanted to wait to do that at the last minute so the food could be fresh. Same thing with the cake. We didn't want it just sitting out there too early, melting or anything.
How I remember this moment. What was that? We're doing a great job. Everyone has done a great job. We are on time. We're not rushing. We're getting great content. We got photo. We got vertical video. We got horizontal video. We got up close shots. We got pictures of me, which never happens. Yeah. We got Ziya's little photo shoot. I'm like, what else can we do? We got extra time.
More, bust another bus club.
And then another special thing that we had for this party was a cotton candy cart, because cotton candy is sometimes called fairy floss. And of course, I just felt like that was perfect with the fairy garden theme. So the cotton candy cart came, they set up, they had a really cute pink striped umbrella and a fairy floss like logo on the cart. And then we had also hired a fairy performer to come. And I was super excited when she got there because she looked so cute. I loved her dress and her wings. She just matched the vibes perfectly. And then right as the last vendors were showing up, we were finishing setting everything up, the guests started arriving. And I was proud because with previous parties, we have had a lot of struggles with time management, and it just is like so chaotic and stressful, and certain things are not getting done, and oh no, the guests are already here, but we're still trying to do this and do that. But this party wasn't like that. I feel like we did a really good job with just like staying organized, being on top of things, and like getting everything done the way I wanted it done, which is a really good feeling.
The girl is thirsty.
One arm in here. And one arm here. There we go. Now
Anything.
oh yes.
We had one more surprise for this party and they came around the corner looking so cute. I did tell Ziya that this was coming, but the rest of the kids didn't know, and so I think they were pretty surprised when Sunshine the unicorn stepped into the backyard.
That's like you.
This is Sunshine.
Beautiful name.
The unicorn was super cute and the kids were super excited. They were able to pet him and take pictures, and they were even able to do a little ride around the sidewalk.
Give me an apple and see what happens. Go eat an apple.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ziya. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Make a wish, throw it out. One more. Booty shake, smile. Booty, booty, booty.
Can I have all of my friends' attention, please? And you have been so kind to me. And I made lots of new friends. Can you raise your hand for me? Do you promise to always be kind? Do you promise to use your talents to help others? Do you promise to always believe in yourself? Well, I would like to make you an honorary fairy, but not just an honorary fairy, an honorary fairy princess. Can I put this on you? So beautiful. How does it feel being a fairy princess? Everyone bow. Certificate, so she brings this. She can come into our fairy realm and visit whatever she likes.
Cool.
It always warms my heart when I can look out on my party and I see my guests like just genuinely having a good time. The kids are laughing and running and playing, and they're actually doing the activities and crafts, and they're taking pictures with the photo op, and they're like enjoying, you know, picking out their party favors, and they're like in love with the unicorn, and they're having so much fun, you know, with the unlimited cotton candy. I saw kids getting in line 3-4 times getting cotton candy, trying every flavor, which I was like, help yourself. And obviously the whole reason for having this party is to celebrate Ziya and make sure that she's having a good time. And she was. She told me multiple times how nice she thought the party was, how much fun she was having. You could just see it written all over her face that she was having a great time, and obviously that's the most important thing to me. And I just love being able to provide these experiences and these memories not only for Ziya, but for all of our friends and family too. So huge shout out to my team, to Zoe, Sam, Taylor, to my parents, to my sister who was there helping out. Shout out to all my friends and family who always come and even travel to attend these parties. And of course, a huge shout out to Ziya. Happy 8th birthday. I literally can't believe that you are 8 years old. You need to stop growing so fast. I love you. I hope you enjoyed your birthday, and I'm excited to plan the next one. She's gonna be turning 9, and would it be crazy if I told you that I already have a few ideas?